All right, folks. Here we are back with episode 6 of I'm So Beastly Trivia. I need to first address the elephant in the room. Okay, I'm Mr. Richard. I have rebranded this from Trivia Blam by Professor Blam into I'm So Beastly Trivia by Mr. Richard. I mentioned it slightly in the last episode, maybe two, that I was Professor Blam as well as Mr. Richard. Go by both, whatever, interchangeable. But I already have a podcast named I'm So Beastly, and that's about self-growth and the world around us and things of that nature. And I really just wanted to consolidate um, into one brand. The books I write, they're under Mr. Richard. This podcast, my main one is under Mr. Richard. And so I figured, why have these separate ones? So we consolidated. We're now I'm So Beastly Trivia, and that's what we're going to be moving forward. So the first 5 episodes reference Trivia Blam, but from 6 and beyond, we're going to be I'm So Beastly Trivia. And I think it just flows better. It just works better. And yeah, that's basically it. Oh, there we go. All right. Excuse me, I'm getting over a slight sickness, if you will. Not really a sickness. I had a tickle in my throat, and so we're still moving and grooving. Um, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So, as stated in the last one, I really wanted to do an episode on RuneScape trivia. So that is exactly what episode 6 is going to be about. RuneScape trivia, specifically pre Evolution of Combat RS3 RuneScape, as well as the reinstatement of old school RuneScape. Um, because it's just the best game. Old school RuneScape is just the best game ever created, and anyone who disagrees, they're wrong. They're just factually wrong. Okay, so um, and yes, I do play RuneScape, of course. How could I think it's the best game ever if I didn't? Um, my username is TurdBomber14. I'll put that in the description if you want to reach out to me and say, "What's up, bruh?" or something along those lines. Whatever. All right, so that'll be in the description. As you know, I the past couple episodes I've spun a wheel to determine my questions. I'm just simply going to do for this one, I have a list of about 50 questions ready, and I'm only going to do roughly 21 of them. Um, so I'm not going to spin a wheel for questions. However, I will still spin the wheel for points. Whatever it lands on, if you get the question right, that's how many points you get. And of course, we have consequences here. So if you get the question wrong, that's how many points you subtract. In the last round I did, episode 5, if you got question 1 wrong, then you maxed out in the negatives, even if you got the other 7 questions correct. However, if you got question 1 right, then you definitely ended in the positives, even if you got the other 7 incorrect. So, once again, it's not about how many questions you get right in this game. It's about which questions you get right in this game. Um, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. Question 1 is going to be worth. Oh, this is so good. I love the no way, not again, not again. Oh, and not again. Okay, question 1. Question 1 is worth 5 points. All right. First off, we can't talk about RuneScape without talking about the entire realm. So, what is question 1? What is the entire world of RuneScape? Where is it located? All right. I'm looking for a specific name. And if you're unsure what this means, think about like Pangea or, all right, we'll just say Earth. It's like Earth. What is the Earth of the world of RuneScape called? Where is it located? Oh man, I love RuneScape, and I hope everyone who's listening to this has played. And if you haven't, and you're listening to this, and you're like, "Oh man, this sounds so freaking dope," hop on, try it out. But definitely try out old school RuneScape because it's the best. It's the best. All right, the answer to question one, 5 points. What is the name of the world where RuneScape is located? That would be Galenor. If my pronunciations are not to your liking, you know, that's okay as long as you understand and get it right around because these pronunciations, can be different based on the different person. So the world of RuneScape is located in Galenor. All right. Question two. And I'm not looking for the exact amount, I'm looking for the rough amount here. Question two. What is the maximum cash stack you can have in RuneScape? And that is going to be worth 13 points. What is the maximum cash stack you can have in RuneScape? I always wondered why this was the maximum cash stack. And apparently it, excuse me, apparently it has to do with the amount of like the bit rate that can be in an individual stack. Um, so there's that. It has to do with computer data, not anything to do with the game or it's simply not a random number per se. It's based on the actual data that can be fit in that individual slot. So that was interesting that I found out. Um, but question two, what is the maximum cash stack you can have in RuneScape? That would be 2.1 billion. 2.1 billion. All right, I have never been anywhere near that cash stack. I always spent all of my money doing the skills that were the most expensive, and I spent a lot of my time doing these skills and the tasks that took the most amount of time. Why? I have no idea. But it was just the most fun for me for some reason. All right, moving on. Question three, and this goes into way back. If you're playing recently, if you're new to the game, um, this may not be something in your knowledge, but back in the day, before the Grand Exchange, all right, and this question is worth 2 points. Okay, this question's worth 2 points. Before the Grand Exchange, and we're talking members because we'll have a couple free play questions, but most of this will be members because that's the real game. All right, I'm currently a free play member, free play player. But once I get 99 smithing, then I'll probably get membership and start to really play the game again. I've just got this in my mind that I need to get 99 smithing. Um, but anyway, before the Grand Exchange, right? Where did most of the trading occur? And I will take, there's one main answer. I'll take two answers. Okay. Um, and the world is very important as well. All right. So what location and world did most of the trading take place? Right. The world is set, but there are two locations, one main, and there's another one that is also very prevalent at the time. But man, a time before the Grand Exchange. I mean, obviously, with the addition of the Iron Man, right? It's not, this is irrelevant to you now, but the Grand Exchange has just streamlined trading, streamlined the game. It used to be a grind just to honestly make any trades. I mean, I remember I remember spending a ton of time on the RuneScape forums posting, selling X amount of U logs or buying lobster or this and that, and then you'd have to connect on the forums. People be looking for trades to make. I mean, it was honestly way more like old-timey trading, like old world trading. And it was interesting. I mean, you actually had to find out, excuse me, who had something and go to a specific player. You couldn't just put in a blanket order in the Grand Exchange and get it. So it was a whole different game back then. And honestly, like thank thank goodness it's the Grand Exchange has just made it so much easier. But anyway, back to the question. Before the Grand Exchange, where did most of the trading take place for members? This would be World 2, so 2 points, interesting. So World 2, either in Falador Park or Varrock West Bank. Either one of those answers would have sufficed as long as World 2, because that was the members' trading world. All right, so that was 2 points. That was back in the day. I mean, that is where our typing skills really grew. You had to type so fast. It was different colors, different styles. Um, it was wavy. It was it was truly like the wild. I mean, it was insane back then. All right, question four. Question four. Um, this one is definitely this is RuneScape math. All right, question four for 144 points. What is half of 99? What is half of 99? And if you play RuneScape, this is something that, at least for me, it's funny because you grind and grind and grind, and then you think like, oh man, I'm almost there. But in fact, you're not almost there because half of 99 is 92. 92. So if you're going for a 99, when you reach level 92, you are halfway to 99. So all of that grind to 92. I mean, obviously, you're getting faster, you're getting better at certain skills. Some don't matter because the XP stays stationary, stays stagnant. Um, but yeah, if you're once you reach 92, you are halfway to 99, and you got a double grind to go, boy. It is, but the payoff at 99 is so sweet because it's just it's finally it's such a good feeling. It's such a good feeling when you've finally reached that 99. All right, let's see. That was, I want to say question four. I'm losing track already, which is crazy. All right, for 3 points. 3 points. Here's some old RuneScape lore. Okay. In 2006, there was a glitch. All right. Where people could just go around slaughtering other people, not in PvP zones, not in the wilderness, not in anywhere. And it was a free for all. It was literally the Wild West that day. So I'll take two answers, I guess. No, I'll take one. Right. For 3 points, what is the name of the infamous slaughtering that occurred in 2006? All right. And this was epic. I mean, people were shouting, "Put your stuff in the bank, 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 bank all your items." I mean, this is forever going to be part of RuneScape lore, and honestly, epic, epic. All right, the glitch that occurred in 2006, leading to the slaughter of many players, it's called the Falador Massacre. All right, the Falador Massacre, and I believe that was question five. So if not, whatever, we're gonna call it question five. But yeah, the Falador Massacre was a bloodbath as far as digital games can be bloodbaths. I mean, it was kind of wild. There's videos of it on YouTube. It's it's pretty epic. It's it's quite epic, honestly. All right, question six for 89 points. All right, for 89 points. And I'm not tallying up these points. You can. I don't know what the total is going to be at the end. I should do that. Maybe next episode seven, I'll start tallying up the points and actually keeping a running total. But that is not what we're doing here. Um, let's see. Okay, this is interesting. Um, question six for 89 points. What is the highest rank a player can achieve in the White Knights of Falador. All right, after you um, complete the quests, it's like White Knight's Fortress or something like that. I don't remember exactly what the name of the quest is. It's been a while since I've done it, and I took a break off. You never quit RuneScape, you just take a break. So I took a long break. I don't remember the exact name of the quest, but once you complete this quest, you can start earning ranks in the White Knight favor. Um, so what is the highest rank a player can achieve in the White Knights of Falador? And to do this, you need to kill Black Knights. So the more Black Knights you kill, the more favor you get with White Knights. All right. The highest rank you can achieve in the White Knights of Falador is a Master White Knight, and you need to kill 1,300 Black Knights to reach it. Why 1,300? I have no idea. I have no idea, but there it is. All right. Next, next, next. Okay. Question. Once again, I'm losing track again. I don't even know. Because I'm bouncing around. All these questions I have listed are numbered, and I'm just going through them. And so we're going to say this is question seven, I believe. All right, question seven. And we're taking just down for 21 points. Okay. Before all the additions of other training methods, all right, what was the most common training method for low levels or even some high levels? The most common, I'll say, is AFK training method. For many years, what was the most common AFK training method? And this is up in Relica, to give you a little hint if you didn't know. All right. The most common training method, question seven for 21 points, would be rock crabs. Rock crabs, right? You could AFK them. Okay, they're super low defense level, high HP, so the XP was real fast. And you just AFK them. And it was I mean I spent a ton of time there, and then I realized, hey, I'm wasting my time. I should be slaying. So then I started slaying and kind of went back and forth. All right, but yeah, rock crabs, heavy training method back in the day. Still is, honestly. It's still great XP, but now people have transitioned into sand crabs. Um, it's basically the same thing, except it's a bigger crab with more HP, so it's can be faster, but there's just not as many of them, so it can be slightly different, slightly more difficult. All right. This is question eight. Okay. Now, question eight. I've never completed this quest fully. I've done pieces. I've done part of it. So, which quest for 34 points requires you to cook a meal for a group of historical figures frozen in time? And fun fact, this was actually the 100th quest released, and at least at one point had the most requirements in the game. Okay, which quest requires you to cook a meal for a group of historical figures frozen in time? The question somewhat gives it away. If you've done it, I'll give you another hint. This is also the quest that unlocks different levels of gloves. Uh, so, there's that, right? But this was at one point this was a flex to have completed this quest. And all right, question eight, 34 points. The quest that requires you to cook a meal for a group of historical figures frozen in time is a recipe for disaster. A recipe for disaster. All right, I have never completed. I think highest I've gotten up is maybe myth gloves, maybe steel. I don't know. I think myth gloves is what I got up to at one point. I hated quests. I know they had so many benefits. And now quests are so easy with, the usage of like RuneLight plugins. It just tells you exactly where to go, what you need, who to talk to, exactly what to do, like all that jazz. So, you know, it's so much easier now, but I just hated it. It was so time consuming. Um, but yeah, I was never a quester. I just really did not like it. All right. Okay. Let's see. Question nine. Question nine. All right. And this will be worth, mm, oh, I need to shuffle these. This will be worth 13 points. All right. But now we're going to shuffle these baddies. Okay. So it's 13 points. All right. Where is it? I just saw it. Oh, here we go. All right. For 13 points, question nine. Who is the legendary hero who founded the city of Falador? All right. Who's the legendary hero who founded the city of Falador? And let's give credit to the man who created this game. I don't know his name. It's so funny that he created this game because he was tired of other games. He wanted to make his own how he wanted to, and it became this billion-dollar success. So, kudos to him. Now they have a whole team doing it. The lore is insane. There's so much to it. And I mean, honestly, it's obviously similar to Dungeons and Dragons. It's like a playable Dungeons and Dragons. I know they have a D&D game, um, and I've never played it, but I just don't know if it can compare to RuneScape because, like, World of Warcraft is a good one too. However, even those streamers that play World of Warcraft, they're switching over to RuneScape. It's so much more. There's so much more to do. There's so much more to gain. And World of Warcraft, yes, it's a fabulous game. The gameplay is excellent. The graphics are great, but it's simpler. I don't know. There's a lot more strategy to RuneScape from what I've gathered. If you disagree, please let me know. No worries, no worries there. It is what it is. But yes, question nine: Who is the legendary hero who founded the city of Falador? That'd be Sir Saradomin. Sir Saradomin. All right. There we go. Question 10. Brrr. Question 10 for 1 point. Oops. 1 point. Sorry, I have to do this. Yes, here we go. For 1 point. Question 10. In Monkey Madness 1, what item allows you to transform into a monkey? In Monkey Madness 1, what item allows you to transform into a monkey? Oh man, I hated Monkey Madness 1. All right, I did this before I had like any coins. Like I said, I spent all my coins on honestly dumb stuff or skills that were only losing me money. They would never profit me. Um, and the only time I ever had money was when I ended up getting to 65 Slayer and I just camped at Dust Devils and got a D chain. And when I got the Dragon Chain, it was worth like 15 mil at the time. So I mean, and this was back before money was like coming in crazy. The D chain was still a hot topic item back then. And now it's like 300K or something weak like that. Uh, so I did that, but I spent all that money. I ended up getting like 99 fletching from it, and I just ripped arrows and like darts and crap like that because it was so fast, but it lost me like all the money that I gained from the D chain. Um, but anyway, getting into Monkey Madness, when you had to do the puzzle, I spent hours on the puzzle because this was back before like RuneWiki was a thing, before the RuneLight was a thing, and I was just so determined I didn't want to pay the money for it to just get past the puzzle. And so I spent so much time on this. I mean, I was like 10 years old at the time when I was doing this quest, something like that, 12. I mean, I was young and I just was so determined to get this. Actually, I wasn't, check that. I wasn't that young. No, I was doing that quest. Um, this was well before I got that D chain though. So I don't know. I was pretty, I was young. Um, Definitely middle school or young high school, but I was not fully in, I don't know. Anyway, it took me forever. Whatever. But question 10 for whatever points I said it was. In Monkey Madness 1, what item allows you to transform into a monkey? That would be the monkey Gree. The monkey Gree. Excuse me. Ooh, 144 points. All right, let's rip it. 144 points. Okay. All right, which Barrow's brother? It's question 11. Which Barrow's brother has a set effect that can heal you? Which Barrow's brother has a set effect that can heal you? All right, I'd never used this, but I know a lot of people did use this as an AFK training method. Because obviously, it didn't heal all the time, but you could be relatively AFK while doing, while fighting, while doing combat at the time because of this effect, this healing effect. Um, and so that was, I mean, that's a cool thing. Like they have, you know, armor that can heal you. Like that's this game is so epic. I'm always fascinated by it. All right, for 144 points, question 11. Which Barrow's brother has a set effect that can heal you? And that would be Guthan the Infested. Guthan the Infested. Or Guthan, or Gutan, however you want to pronounce it. That is up to you. Completely up to you. But Guthan, Gutan, Guthan, whatever. Doesn't matter. That's the answer. That set can heal you. Epic. All right, question 12. Question 12 for 8 points. All right, for 8 points. Let's see. Okay. This is a simple one, playing the game. All right. Which tree requires level 85 woodcutting? And that's all. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to go any deeper. All right, this used to be the ultimate skilling moneymaker for woodcutting, especially if you had a dragon axe. All right, so with 85 woodcutting, I think I said this is question 11. Which tree requires 85 woodcutting to chop, to chizzy chop, boy? Chizzy chop chop chopping down the tree. Chop 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 down the tree. I'm pretty sure I actually asked that question incorrectly because I'm pretty sure, yes, it's not 85. That's stupid. It's 75. Yeah, I knew I knew I typed that out incorrectly. I don't know what I was thinking. Um, so it's definitely not 85. It's 75. It's 75. Okay, so if you think I'm an idiot for this question, you would be correct because I definitely had a brain fart and I knew that it didn't look correct. So question 11, which tree requires 75 wood cutting to chop down? Um, and that would be the magic tree. Magic tree. Blue logs. Blue logs, yes. What a stupid brain fart butthole move that was on my end. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. I don't believe it. All right, for 13 points. 13 points, question 12. All right. Let's see. What is the name of the area that you must get to via the Dark Mage? Nope, not the Dark Mage. Um, okay, which area houses the Dark Mage? All right, which area houses the Dark Mage for 13 points? Question 12, I believe. All right. This is, I would say, one of the most common training methods for rune crafting. I loved rune crafting. I still do. It's just so time consuming. Um, and now they've made it so much quicker now. I mean, it was a grind. It still is a grind depending on your method, but they've made it so much quicker. Anyway, the area that houses the Dark Mage is the Abyss, known as the Abyss. All right. So, yes, so the Abyss. Now, all right. Question 13 for 21 points. For 21 points. All right. Question 13, I think. What are the ingredients in a prayer potion? All right. What are the two ingredients used in a prayer potion? All right. I remember the days of, selling unidentified herbs for 1K before they became grimies. Um, Man, that was a scammy day because I remember because you'd always be like, "Oh yeah, I have level, you know, 25 herb lore. All these units are higher than blah blah blah." And then you'd go and buy them for a K, and then obviously that was not the case because people would definitely scam you, and some of them would just be Guams you'd be buying for 1K, and that would just be terrible. But anyway, oh, butterscotch. The two items, the two ingredients for a prayer potion, right? Question 13. That'd be a Rainer weed and snape grass, or Renar weed and snape grass. All right. So those are the two for a prayer potion. All right. Question 14 for 3 points. For 3 points. All right. What is the name of the mini game where you can gain full Void Knight armor? All right. Yes. What's the name of the mini game where you can earn full Void Knight armor? I love this mini game. I think it's so fun. I think it's so cool. Um, but I'm not going to say more because, you know. All right. The name of the mini game where you can get full Void Knight armor is Pest Control, and that was 3 points. Pest Control is so fun. I used to play it all the time. I just think it's great. You can gain XP and then gain more XP. I don't know if the overall time is worth it, but I do like it because I love the fact that it's safe. You don't really have to pay that much attention. You just go and um, you just go and rip these monsters. If you die, you die. So what? Um, I think it's cool. I just think it's cool. All right, question 15. All right. 3 points. Question 15 is worth 3 points. Let's shuffle those baddies up. All right. And let's see. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Mm, all right. 15 for 3 points. What is the name of the new land that houses the gym crab? So basically, question 15, where is the gym crab located? All right. I've never been to the gym crab. It's members only. I'm free play right now, as I said, to crush out 99 smithing. But the gym crab is a very popular training method now, and it is in one of the expansion lands that got introduced recently. It does require a quest to get there, um, but the gym crab, question 15, the gym crab is located in Varlamore, right? Varlamore. Somehow people have died from the gym crab. I don't really know. They've lost hardcore status. Funny for them. Um, but it is what it is. All right. Question 16 for, good golly, Miss Molly, 13 points. All right. Question 16 is 13 points. All right. Now, this is such a basic one. All right. This is a basic question. Who is historically the most famous player to ever play the game? What is their character name? Okay. Consistently number one on the high scores, or at least used to be, for the longest time. And they were actually so famous that they couldn't really even play the game whenever they'd log on to a public world because people would follow them and there'd be so many people around them that they just weren't even able to really do anything, you know? Um, so who is the most famous player of all time? Okay, there are new players who have taken over on the high scores, um, but forever, at least for me, the most famous player of all time. And this goes way back. All right. The most famous player of all time, question 16, is Zezima. Zezima. Oh man, Zezima was such a legend. Absolute, absolute legend. Right? Absolute legend. That's all I can say about him. Said he played like 10 hours a day for 5 years straight, something crazy. My man just no lifed it. You know what? Good on him. Good on him for doing the Lord's work. All right, question 17. 5 points. All right, we may have to cut this short. I don't really know how many. It's taking longer than I think. I have no clue how much time I have left. I'm doing this on Zoom. I don't pay for it. I'm doing the free version. Um, and I only get like 40. Oopsie poopsie. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, oh yeah. I only get like 40 minutes. Um, but this is 5 points. So question 17. All right. Um, let's see. Okay. What level can you make? What level rune crafting can you make double natures? All right. What level rune crafting can you make double natures? All right. This was at a time when people would people would actually at one point they had the assist. You turn on assist, and they could make the runes. You'd get the XP if you had the level. You just post up in the nature altar. So people would run natures that way. Back in the day, they used to actually run natures. You would trade them like you know that you'd trade them the natures. They'd give you the rune essence, and you would just make it. boost up XP, and that would how people would do it for speed. Um, but what level do you need rune crafting wise to make two natures per essence? And that would be level 91. Not even halfway to 99. Unbelievable. What a grind. All right, question 18. We're going to stay on the idea of stay on the skill of rune crafting. Question 18 for 21 points. All right, what is the new mini game for rune crafting? All right, what's the new rune crafting mini game that they introduced? Eh, this, honestly, I'm a big fan that they did introduce this because I mean, I was going full speed ahead, uh, and I was only gaining like 25, maybe 25k XP an hour doing rune crafting. And it's just not sustainable for a long time. I mean, it's a grind. It can wear you out. It can wear you out. But the mini game that they have added for us 21 points. The mini game they have added for rune crafting is Guardians of the Rift. Guardians of the Rift. All right, question 19. We'll stay here again for 1 point. All right, for 1 point, and I will take two answers for this one. Okay. What is the altar, the rune crafting altar, where you can enter it at level 1 and it makes a random set of runes? Okay. What altar can you enter at level 1 and it makes a random set of runes? All right. You can also teleport there on the um, lunar spellbook. Okay. The altar where you make a random set of runes, that would be either the ZMI altar or the Orania altar. Either one of those would have sufficed. Either one of those would have worked. Oh, big boy, 233 points for question 20. All right, now, question 20. Okay. Oh, butter. How are we going to do this? Okay, how about this? Question 20 for 233 points. What was the original name of RuneScape back in 1998? All right, this man, Andrew Gower. All right, just seeing this, Andrew Gower develop this at his spare time when he was in college. Good for him. Thank goodness he had spare time because, excuse me, he took all the spare time away from the rest of us in the best way possible. So the original name for RuneScape back in 1998, when he was developing it, was A Devious Mud. I don't know what MUD stands for. It is capitalized. It's an acronym, I'm sure, but A Devious Mud. So there's that. And then we are now about to be on question 21. And this is also for 233 points. Wow, also 233 points. Question 21. Okay, let's see. Let's see. All right, question 21. You know what? I'll make this a simple question. All right. What, excuse moi. All right, what quest do you have to do? Do you have to complete to unlock the ancient spellbook? What quest do you have to complete to unlock the Ancient's spellbook? Oh man, I did not like this quest. It was a difficult quest for me at the time. Once again, I was a young tyke doing it and without a guide. It was a small guide, but it wasn't super great, but it is what it is. All right, but this at the time, this was like, oh man, you got full ghostly, you're like that's dope. Oh, you're an ancient, you're barraging. Oh, that's awesome. Right, but for 233 points, question 21. What quest needs to be completed to unlock the ancient spellbook? All right, that would be Desert Treasure. Desert Treasure. All right, and wraps up wraps up our episode on RuneScape trivia. Surely there were, of course, more questions I could have asked that would be more in depth, um, maybe for some of the more advanced players. But I wanted to keep it light, keep it fun. Also, I didn't want to go too deep into um, you know, complicated, complex questions. Uh, I did still want to have a you know, certain level of entrance, I guess, that everyone could enjoy who's played the game. So some were more in depth, some were, super easy. But hopefully you had fun. I mean, I know of my thousands of listeners, I'm sure that every single one of them plays RuneScape because how could you not? It's the greatest game of all time. Uh, we love RuneScape. We love RuneScape. We love RuneScape. RuneScape, 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 RuneScape. All right. Once again, I'm Mr. Richard. This is episode 6 of I'm So Beastly Trivia. Forevermore, it will be called that. Um, my RuneScape name is TurdBomber14. That will be in the description. Please like, follow, subscribe, all that jazz, depending on the medium you're listening to. I have no clue. Um, and of course, the links to the books I've written will be in the description. If you want to buy me a cup of coffee, that'll also be down there. If not, do your thing. Thank you for listening. We appreciate love you. And honestly, we're just gonna keep ripping off episodes today because I love doing trivia and I got a lot of free time, so why the heck not? Um, all right, catch you in episode 7. Ta ta, kittens.